Alright guys, welcome to CCNA1 2.1.4.8 Packet Tracer. Um, navigating the iOS. In this activity you will practice skills necessary for navigating the Cisco iOS, including different user access modes, various configuration modes, and common commands you use on a regular basis. You also have practice accessing the context-sensitive help by configuring the clock command. Okay, so part 1. In part 1 of this activity, you connect a PC to a switch using a console connection and explore various command modes and help features. Step 1. Connect PC 1 to switch 1 using, I assume, a console cable. Click the connections icon, so this one. The one that looks like a lightning bolt in the lower left corner of the Packet Tracer window. Select the light blue console cable by clicking on it. The mouse pointer will change to what appears to be a connector with a cable dangling off of it. That's what this is. Click PC1. A window displays the available options. We're going to choose RS-232. Drag the other end of the console connection to switch 1 and click the switch to bring up the options. Select the console port to complete the connection. So we're done with step 1. Step 2. Establish a terminal session with switch 1. So we go to PC1, go to the desktop tab, click the terminal application icon, verify the port configuration default settings are correct, which they are. Click OK. Screen appears. May have several messages displayed. Somewhere on the display there should be a press return to get started message. Press enter. So there we are. We're into switch 1. Step 3. Explore the iOS help. The iOS can provide help for commands depending on the level being accessed. The prompt currently being displayed is called user exec, and the device is waiting for a command. The most common form of help is to type a question mark at the prompt to display a list of commands. So you know you're in user exec mode when you've got the caret or arrow there. So we're going to do the question mark, and it gives us possible commands we could use. Which command begins with the letter C? Well, connect begins with the letter C. At the prompt, type T followed by a question mark. So T question mark. So our options are telnet, terminal, or traceroute, which you can see we're all up here. They're just listed in columns now instead of rows. So take it a step further. Do TE question mark. So now traceroute starts with TR, so it's not included. So now all we have is telnet and terminal. This is known as context-sensitive help, providing more information as the commands are expanded. So if we took it a step further and did tel, the only option would be telnet. But generally, if you do a question mark, or you even know the first letter, I mean, you're going to have it narrowed down, and you can just go from there. So moving on, we're going to enter privileged exec mode. Okay, so we've done our question mark, and we're looking for the enable command to turn on privileged commands. So we could do an en tab, and that just gives us the full command there. So if you have, for instance, if you do a T tab, it's not going to do anything because there are 3 options. Now if you do a TL, for instance, tab, well, it should say unrecognized command, I thought. Maybe not. But anyway, the point is, tab is a great way to save time. I often just tab things, or I'll just abbreviate things. That's short for Show IP OSPF Interface, which is something you'll learn later on. Why is that? Oh, we're on a switch, that's why. Okay, so obviously that's not going to work, but the point is you can really shorten things. So we could say show IP DHCP conflict, for instance. Show SHIP DHCO, and it'll show that list. But anyway, I'm digressing. So we've enabled What displays after pressing the tab key? The word enable. This is called command completion or tab completion. When part of a command is typed, the tab key can be used to complete the partial command. If the characters typed are enough to make the command unique, as in the case with the enable command, the remaining portion is displayed. So that's, oh, here we go. We're going to do exactly what they're going to tell us to do what we did. So what would happen if you were to type TE tab at the prompt? So obviously the answer is we would not. Let's just do it. TE tab, nothing. It just does that because we can do telnet or terminal. So enter the enable command and press enter. How does the prompt change? So now we have a pound instead of the caret. When prompted, type the question mark. So okay, question mark. Here you see we have a lot more commands available. Previously there was one command that started with the letter C in user exec mode. How many commands are displayed now that privileged exec mode is active? You could type C question mark to just list the commands beginning with C, or since we've already done question mark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what about if we do a C? Yep, there it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enter global config mode. One of the commands starting with the letter C is configure when in privileged exec mode. Type either the full command or enough of the command to make it unique, along with the tab key to issue the command and press enter. So conf tab gives you configure, and then what do we need? Oh, terminal. Okay, configure terminal. Or I guess they wanted us to just configure and then hit enter, because what's in the brackets here is the default. We could do, if you typed M, you would be from memory, N for network. I guess you can't configure memory in Packet Tracer. Also not the network, so we're just going to configure the terminal, which is what it wants us to do anyway. This is called global configuration mode. This mode will be explored further in upcoming activities and labs. For now, exit back to privileged exec mode by typing end, exit, or Control Z. So I'm just going to use end because it's the shortest, and it will take you back to privileged exec from pretty much anywhere in the OS. So keep that in mind. End is a great, it'll take you back so you can do all kinds of show commands, ping commands, things like that. Or you can do you can type do show and it'll do a privileged exec command from a higher level. So use the clock command to further explore help in command syntax. Type show clock at the privileged exec prompt. So show clock. Look at that, it's 8:36 and a half. Monday, March 1st, 1993. And it's a little bit behind there. The %incomplete command message is returned by the iOS indicating the clock command needs further parameters. Oh, I skipped over this. So use the context-sensitive help in the clock command. Clock, enter, incomplete command. So clock question mark gives us set. So clock set. Hours, minutes, seconds. So we can set the time. So just something for you guys. I don't know if this has gone over in the very first Packet Tracer, but when you do a question mark like this and you have this, so it's telling you the syntax that it wants it in, or it'll have a command that it wants, and then it's giving a description of what that is over here. So for instance, if I go well, just right here, question mark, so you've got the actual commands here, and then you've got the description over here. So so we were doing clock set, and it wants us to set the clock to 3 p.m. using a 24-hour format. So 15:00:00 and hit enter. Oh, we're incomplete. So go back, hit the up arrow to bring our command back and do a question mark. Oh, so it wants the day of the month or the month of the year. So we're going to attempt to set the date to January 31st, 2035 using the format requested. It may be necessary to request additional help using the context-sensitive help to complete the process. When finished, issue the show clock command to display the clock setting. The resulting command output should display as show clock, just like that. So we're going to do clock set 15000, and then we're going to do 31st of January 2035. Now we're going to do a show clock, and yep, looks like it's 15 o'clock and 2.7 seconds on Wednesday, January 31st, 2035. Explore additional command messages. You guys can do this. I guess I'll go ahead and if we do CL, we get ambiguous command. Do clock, we get incomplete command. If we do, whoops, clock set 25. What do we get? Oh, invalid input, because there is no such thing as 25 o'clock on a 24-hour scale. And oh, invalid input detected at that marker, because what is 32? Oh, well, it's more than 31, which is the number of days in a month. So that's not going to work either. Anyway, I hope I've helped you guys out. If you have any questions, feel free to send them to me or type it in the comments or whatever. All right, see you next time.